My name is Mike Kost, and I'm the Associate Curator here at Matthaei Botanical Gardens on the University of Michigan's main campus. We're in the Great Lakes Garden. This is a series of gardens designed to showcase the native plant communities across the Great Lakes region. And particularly it focuses on rare natural communities. So in this garden, we've set up individual gardens to showcase, for example, prairie. Right behind me, we have our prairie garden. And this garden is actually laid out with a series of plants representing the continuum of prairie in the Great Lakes region, which ranges from dry sand prairie to mesic prairie to wet prairie. So we've planted plants along that continuum. The prairies in Michigan and throughout the Great Lakes region are considered rare now. And this is our prairie garden. We've got roughly about 60 plus species, including several rare species. In front of me is our Alvar grassland garden. Now, Alvar grassland is a very rare natural community, and it features Spirobolus heterolepis. Now, this species is called prairie dropseed, and it's a special concern species in the state of Michigan. And this ecosystem occurs up in the on Drummond Island is where it's found, on the far eastern Upper Peninsula. Another one of our gardens is our Alvar pavement garden. And the Alvar grassland borders the Alvar pavement garden, or what we call Alvar. Alvar is a Scandinavian term, and it's an ecosystem with exposed limestone bedrock at the surface. So throughout this garden, you'll see that we've taken great pains and effort to lay out large slabs of limestone or dolostone that were harvested from a quarry up in northern Michigan, and the plants are embedded between those big slabs of bedrock, of limestone bedrock. Another garden in the Great Lakes Garden is our open dunes garden, featuring plants of the open dunes. So Michigan has the largest collection of freshwater dunes in the world. In fact, the Great Lakes region has the largest collection of freshwater dunes in the world. And Michigan, with its miles and miles of coastline, certainly has the most, especially the west shore of the state of the lower peninsula of Michigan along Lake Michigan. And so in that garden, we featured a series of native plants that are associated with the open dunes. Bordering the open dunes garden is a smaller garden that we call our cobble shore garden or our cobble beach garden. All along the Great Lakes shores are stretches of cobble beach. And depending on where you are in the state, it varies what its composition is. It varies from sandstone to volcanic to limestone to granitic rock. Mostly, it's to a large part of the Great Lakes is limestone bedrock lakeshore, and that's mostly what we're featuring here. So it's a garden of the plants that are associated with those cobble shores or those cobble beaches. Another one of the gardens that we have in several locations here is oak openings. Oak openings are now a rare natural community. They were once widespread in southern Michigan along with prairie openings, but it's rare today. And we have several areas where we feature the plants associated with oak openings, which is an oak savanna. An oak savanna is an ecosystem with widely scattered oak trees, species like white oak and black oak and bur oak, and primarily white oak. And in our garden, we have all of those species here, and the native plants associated with those. In an oak openings, we have plants that are associated with the forest and the prairie, so it's a combination. It's that savanna matrix species, where some species demand light, and there's spaces for those. Some species are shade tolerant, and there's space under the oaks for those. We also have a wet woodland garden, featuring species that grow in forested wetlands. And we have a dry woodland garden featuring species that are native to our oak hickory forests and our dry oak forests. Oak hickory forests comprised of species like white oak and black oak and red oak and shagbark hickory and pignut hickory. And so we have a forest with an understory and a herbaceous layer that's filled with species that are native to that ecosystem. So this sums up our Great Lakes garden. We have a few niche gardens, including an orchid garden that's under development right now, and a fern garden that's dispersed throughout the garden. So the Great Lakes Garden is designed to showcase the ecosystems of the Great Lakes region, especially some of these rare ecosystems, these rare natural communities, and the unique and exquisite native plant flora that they harbor.